kender til 5. Det er ligesom robotter, det er koldt og shit. De kender ham, alle kan ikke kende sig selv. Men rolig min bror, du kan vende dig til. Jeg kender til rotter, jeg kender til 5. Det er ligesom robotter,
Let's talk about Pluto, because I did watch it finally. And, whoa. What a wild storyline. I have notes. I have to refer to my notes. It's so much. So let's get into it. So the sister's new husband dies on the wedding night. Okay. There's some kissing at a first. Like this story is wild. So there's like two twins. They're distant from each other. One has a new husband. They get married that night, and the husband dies during a drunk driving incident. Essentially, before then, she asked her twin sister to go be her and go break up with her girlfriend. What? Why did you break up with your girlfriend before you're getting married, before you got engaged? This makes no sense. So she pretends to be her, and immediately they kiss. That's kind of crazy. She's like, never met this woman before, and she immediately kisses her, but whatever. Awkward for the twin, right? Her twin friend is funny. She does make some good points that May didn't know about the wedding is really suspicious. Like, how did the ex not know about the wedding? She definitely knew about the wedding. Or the girlfriend, sorry, the girlfriend. Her name's May. How did she not know? She knew. And now that's like the premise of the series is I's going to continue to date May. The twin sister's going to continue to date May and see if she's lying about not knowing the situation, because all of this is suspicious. The beginning of the show is like, the setup is wild, so everything's suspicious anyway. So she wants to make sure, she's like, is she lying or not? Or she wants to make sure, like, did she cause the car accident? Okay, sure. And then I thought she was blind, but she's like clearly working on her computer. Like, what is going on? So this is a crazy story. And then Kasal, he's a childhood friend and may have been May's assailant, apparently. Which is, yes. Now I's friend Pang likes her, and then her officer girlfriend Pim finds out through CCTV, which is so traumatic. Like, first of all, her friend is with her police officer friend having oral sex, and the friend's not into it. Then the cop goes and gets her a treat, like a nice food, and then I comes over to talk to the friend. The friend confesses to I that she loves her, and then the police officer is outside the door watching the situation on the CCTV. Okay. Aboom's bestie likes the officer, Jan. This is so complicated. So this is like a threesome going on, and they all live in the same building. What? Then Tan, the cousin of May, is going to investigate if it's Kasal. There's just so many shenanigans going on, and it's just like, well, then they're blurring out the beer cans in the show. I'm like, oh, so they didn't get approval, they didn't get the brand sponsorship, so they have to blur out the beer cans. That was weird. That was a choice. May's exploit is another setback. Jealousy. The power plays are crazy, and I love that Jan saw I doing the dishes to pay for the food. I do like that she peeps what's going on. Pim trying to save her ship. It's kind of sad. The cop trying to save the ship is like, oh, girl, let it go. Then she finds comfort with the bestie, but she's not really that into her. And then product placement for Garnet, the face cleaner. That was pretty funny. And then it's like, the fuck? She faked the original BA, but the bachelor's degree, but then got it recently. Like, why do you even fake it? Just say that you're taking a longer time to get it. Why would you even lie that you had got a degree? Really weird. And then she's working for this ungrateful family to send to college and to take care of her family. Huh? Grandma is so annoying and only cares about her own feelings. I do not like the grandma. Grandmas are never redeeming in these stories. Culturally, I don't understand this whole situation. I'd left a long ass time ago if it was me in this situation. I would have been like, deuces, this family is fucked up, I don't care. But, honor, respect, and duty is not for me. So, anyway, there's a lot of product placement. There's like these flip phones. I think they're Samsung Fold. They're like throughout the show. There's so much product placement. I mean, you gotta have some way to pay for these shows, but it's just like so egregious sometimes. The scene of them dancing and I singing, and then it's like a music video is really weird. Honestly, I didn't get that. And then where does she have the money to rent out the space and hire that blind band? I thought she was like delivering food. How does she have the money for this? Okay. May knows it's I. You find that out. She knows that I is pretending to be since the beginning. Then at the friends opening, her friends looked at I like, ew, you're poor. That's how they looked at her. They looked her up and down. I was like, ew, you're poor. And then I trying to fuck with May's shitty friends was actually not really cool. She could have burned the building down. I did not like that. I was like, her paying them back for being assholes was like kind of psycho. It was a little too much. So Casal did it. This is true. We find out, it's confirmed, because May was the representative. May is a lawyer, so she represented the dude that injured Ben, their friend Ben, and Ben is in a wheelchair for life, and Ben's mom committed suicide for insurance money, but didn't know that suicide isn't covered under insurance. So she killed herself for nothing. So they all hate May because they think that she is the reason why that dude got off and the reason why Ben's mom killed herself. Which is kind of true, but she was pushed into representing that dude. And then while the grandma knows and is hella chill about everything, even them being gay, I was like, oh, we just cool with it's all good, no issues, even though you're pretty distant and only cared about the other sister. You cool with everybody being kind of homo? All right, okay. And then May's vision coming back, but still won't tell I. Okay, that was weird. And then, oh wow, Ton dated Ploy? That's what she meant by May not being her real girlfriend, and she just asked her to be after the recent breakup. That is the layers and layers of deception. It's just kind of crazy. And then, it was so awkward with Pang, Pim, and Jan. That whole triangle was super weird, but it all works out. I like that this is like a side story, and honestly, it's actually very realistic of like how things would go in a lesbian relationship or a queer relationship when there's a triangle. A lot of times it ends amicably. So yeah, Jan ends up liking Pim, which is kind of funny, and then Pang breaking up with Pim but liking Jan. And then Jan oblivious but is clearly interested. Another Cup of Noodles product placement. Another product placement. So many. There's probably at this point I've seen like 4, maybe even 5 product placements. The first love scene while camping and all with all the lights on. Okay. It is a little kinky. It's a little kinky, but it's also very like sweet and flowery at the same time. You don't really see anything at all. And then the real wakes up. Dun dun dun. And then it gets more complicated because doesn't remember Paul or the breakup with May. Awkward. And then I realizes that she instigated the attack on May. So I realizes that because she's like, oh wait, I was the one who helped Casal and us find out who this person was, and I'm the one who was like, yeah, we should go get her or whatever, go make sure she pays for it. So I feels really guilty about that. And then I gives May back to She's like, okay, you can have her back. And the revelation scene is so long. It's lots of crying. Lots and lots of crying. Now I and May are together, but hiding from until she gets her memory back. What? This is so stupid. This is so toxic. The second love scene is quiet and slow. It is very boring. I did not like it. Now we're back to the 3-way. Why can't they be a triangle? I don't understand. All the kissing between them. I don't understand why they couldn't be poly couple. But I guess they didn't really want to make that work. That's too unconventional for them. They're really traditional. It's got to be only 2 people in a relationship. I'm like, they could have been a triangle. Could have been a threesome. Could have been fine. But whatever. Going cray, and we learn that she still loves May. Awkward. Then why'd you get married? Why were you getting married? Everyone has a flip phone. Everyone. It's just a giant commercial. It's crazy. And then wow, that car crash was terrible CGI. I have to say, the absolute worst CGI. Blaming May. Wow, girl, that's wild. That is, and there's so much crying. Why is there so much crying? Making it this ultimatum is crazy too. She's like, but I logically I understand from perspective, but based on what has happened, it's kind of fucked up to May and I to do that to them, considering the situation. But whatever. Yeah. Then May crying and having the cousin conveniently show up. Okay, the crying is absolutely hysterical, but May is unrealistic to think her and I could be together. Because, come on, after all of that, after all the deceptions and all the lies on both sides, you thought you guys were going to be together? And then, why is I crying at the foot of the bed with her sister and grandma sleeping? Girl, go outside. What is the point of the scene? It's so long. It's just like she wakes up in the middle of the night, has a moment, starts crying, obviously crying. like uncontrollably in the same room, girl. Anyway, a year later goes by. So May and I have not seen each other for a year. And it's just been the twin sisters together doing their thing, I guess. Has PTSD. And it gets worse. It's crazy. And now, but it gets better and over time, and then she ends up going back to work, I guess. So now she's like, it's a year back, I guess. It's like, why are we jumping around in the series? The way that they show it too is just like all these like cuts and stuff. I was like really confused. Mai reads Ai's diary. She left for her, so they gotta wait. And then there's more crying. I am okay. And then we're back in the present. It's hard to tell. The switching back and forth, I was confused. And then and May meet. Okay, so and May meet. This is like when they meet for the first time, or the second time rather. She thinks it's the second time, but it's the first time for May. It's so confusing. Or first time for I don't know. Pim and Jan meeting, and they talk about why Jan chose Pang. I think Pim should be with to be honest. And then forgives May and lets her move on with Ai. Okay, we forgive you. It's all good. You guys can be together now, I guess. Then Kasal and I guess they were supposed to be together. It doesn't make any sense, but sure. Okay, they have the same type of like meet cute as May and I, so I guess they're supposed to be together. May and I's kissing is pretty boring, to be honest. Too gentle, no passion, no tongue. It just looks really like they're not really into it. Another fucking commercial for noodles that they're eating. Unnecessary scene. Chef May, unnecessary, but they gotta sell the noodles. May's dad, I totally forgot about him. Totally forgot about that dude, but he's back. The fake driving in the outside film streets is very obvious. It's like you could have actually filmed in a car. Like why? A moving car, an actual moving car. And then why are her parents being weird? Is her dad dying? Like it's very Susu. It's very weird. And then now he's being nice to Ai. What the fuck? Who talked to him? How did he change? This is just like a complete reversal of his character. I'm so confused. And then wait, they're getting married? Why? Such a big jump. These dresses, I don't like them. And it's too much white fabric. The beginning of the show was very interesting, and I was really intrigued. But then by the time we got to the 8th episode, I was like, this needs to wrap up. Like, why are we continuing to do this? Why is this going on and on and on? The show the story is complicated enough, and then it gets really like tacky and really trashy, to be honest, with the storylines. I did like Pim, Pam, and Jan. That was a good story, like side story, but like continuing their story past 8 episodes was May and I didn't need to be more than 8 episodes. It really didn't, but we got 12. Unnecessary. But yeah, that's my take on Pluto. I didn't like it. I liked it in the beginning, and then I didn't like the ending of it. I would say after episode 4 or 5, I was pretty much over the show. I was like, what is this? I'm over it. Acting is good. It's just so dramatic. So dramatic. Unnecessarily dramatic, but that's a GL. So, yeah, I would watch them again. Watch these two characters, this ship again, but I wouldn't watch Pluto again. No. That's my take on Pluto. My little summary. It's long. It's complicated. I'm gonna have to edit so much stuff out of this because this probably doesn't make any sense because the show is that confusing. But yeah, I watched it, and that's my take. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Mod systemet vi bokser. De andre hopper som lopper, imens jeg også